We're going to go directly to line 2 and speak with Mr. Danny Dumaresque. How are you tonight, sir?
Not too bad, Jonathan. Good to be on your program, and looking forward to having a quick chat, I guess, about the dirty fuel at Holyrood.
Yes. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on with me. I think this is our first time chatting in this capacity, Danny, and it's, I saw what you brought to the table with respect to your theories on what caused Holyrood to shut down, and I'm fascinated by the idea that the fuel oil was contaminated up to a point of 25%, and the particulates of silicon and what's the other one? I'm drawing a blank here. Aluminum shut down the piston engines, if you will, in the generation plant. So take me through it, if you will.
Well, I'd like to give you a little bit of context. I mean, nearly 6 weeks ago, I got certified to be an intervener by the commissioners at the Public Utilities Board. Mm-hmm. As a result of the special investigation the PUB has undertaken into what happened over the last year or so, and certainly it will continue to analyze reliability of power post-Muskrat Falls. But just let me tell you what happened. In the previous 10 years, we had no problems with equipment or fuel at Holyrood. The fuel for the Holyrood station was being provided by ConocoPhillips, which is one of the large multinationals in the United States and the 5th largest refiner in the world. But in late 2012, the government, or Nalcor, decided they were going to go out for public tender. And on November 19th of 2012, they decided that they would award somewhere around an $800 million contract over 4 years to this company, Trafigura S.A., as a company, trading company, actually. No, they don't own any refineries or anything of that nature in Switzerland.
Okay.
And this company, by the way, has come with a very shady past, involved in many problems around the world, including being fined and having to pay $200 million for dumping toxic waste in the Ivory Coast, and certainly involved in the oil for food in Iran, in Iraq, and
really.
So there's been a number of things they've been involved with. So anyway, but
wait, I thought oil for food. I didn't realize that oil for food was a bad thing. I mean, this was a United Nations sponsored program, was it not?
It was, and it got terribly involved in scandal because a lot of the oil did not get translated into food, and it's a very big investigation into it. A lot of money went different ways.
Okay.
But anyway, even with that in mind, mm-hmm. They switched from ConocoPhillips, and they knew. I mean, Hydro knew that the major change in a fuel oil supplier was going to occur, and the first fuel was going to be delivered in January and February, which is the two most important months of the year for the peak generation of power at Holyrood.
Right.
So with this in mind, they drew up the contract, and why they never put in the specification for silicon and aluminum, I'll never know. They do say in documents filed with the PUB that they discussed the importance of it, because they certainly knew that the high presence of this kind of metal could seriously impair the integrity of the equipment at the Holyrood station. So, okay. But even with this in mind, they went ahead and they took the chance. But what is absolutely astonishing is that the first fuel showed up. There was no testing results, and all of the fuel got offloaded. The first shipment arrived on the 4th of January 2013. It got offloaded, some 220,000 barrels, somewhere around $25 million worth of fuel. No testing results in place. And, of course, the unexpected occurred on January 11th, 2013. Mm-hmm. We had Unit 1 went out of business. It imploded, and it was gone for the full winter. So we were in terrible shape. You know, there was tremendous problems being felt all across this province as a result of losing this one of three generators. 175 megawatts of power was now gone.
But Danny, I got to say that, you know, this contaminated fuel, Newfoundland Labrador Hydro is saying that this is not, this may be a contributory factor, but it is certainly not the primary reason that the electrical generators shut down. The dirty fuel, they're saying that this 25% contaminated fuel, while it was a bad thing, they did fix it after 4 shipments of the stuff that they had prepaid or that they had paid for and had to accept. But it was not the issue that shut the pistons down. How can you verify that this was the most significant contributing factor in the shutdown?
Jonathan, at no time did I say in my press conference, or did I say since, that I have absolute proof that this caused the blackouts. At no time did I say that.
Good, because I was unclear about that. Thank you.
And rather than tell you what I think, let me read you from the affidavit. This is a sworn affidavit by Mr. Anderson, the Vice President of Hydro, 3 months ago. He said the quality of fuel oil, which was delivered in January and February, caused the strainers to plug with fuel oil such that the Holyrood staff are cleaning the strainers almost daily to prevent insufficient flow of the fuel oil through the pumps. A loss of fuel oil supplied to the boiler because of a plugged strainer would result in a unit trip and the loss of 175 megawatts of power, which is precisely what did happen. And as I told you earlier, the 10 years before, we didn't have any of these issues. But we had 1 million barrels of dirty fuel delivered to Holyrood, and they knew all about it. They knew the implications of the presence of aluminum and silica. As a matter of fact, on February the 6th is the first evidence we have, which is the emails from the officials to the company saying, listen, we got a problem here, and it's being caused by your fuel being too high in the contaminants of aluminum and silicon.
Okay, Danny, we got to go to the break, so I have one quick question to ask you. What systems could accept a 25% content of silicone and aluminum? What other systems in the world would say that this fuel is okay? How could they get away with selling this? Or is it because this is a 40-year-old infrastructure and they're just not modernized enough to process this through their own filters? Or is it that Trafigura was selling junk?
Oh, there's no question Trafigura was selling junk, and because we were incompetent and never put the specification in the contract, because we never tested it before it went into our system, we never had a legal leg to stand on, and we had to come back to the ratepayers of Newfoundland and Labrador and recover over $1 million on the backs of the ratepayers, and I suggest to you that there's going to be many more millions because this problem did not get removed from the system, and right now they have still no legal agreement that there's going to be anything different done. And while they have delivered better fuel in the recent past, there's still nothing that can keep them from dumping more of this dirty fuel. And that's what I'm against right now. I'm saying cancel the contract, go out, get a new tender with the specifications so we protect the integrity of this system and we protect the reliability of the power system, which has caused so much crisis in the last 12, 14 months of provincial power generation.
Absolutely. Danny, thanks for bringing these points. I'm going to investigate this further. This issue is not dead. One question I'm going to ask to you, and we'll talk about this in the future, is what happens when this content of silicone and aluminum is burned? What are the issues and ramifications for the human biological system? I got to go. We're late for the break, but thanks for joining me tonight. This is the first of many dates you and I will have.
Thank you very much, and this is the first round. I look forward to the Public Utilities Board and get them on the hearing, and let's cross-examine the evidence.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir, and we'll speak again. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right.